Alright, so we built our registration form and now we just have to apply the logic. So let's just start by creating our form variable using the Inertia form helper. So inside our register component, I can say const, and I'm going to call it form, and we will set this to use form from Inertia view. So make sure it is imported, and this is a function that will take an object with all the properties we need. So we need a name, and then I'm going to make copies of that. We need an email, a password, and a password underscore confirmation. Again, we've done this before in other playlists, and this is what our Laravel backend is expecting. And I should mention that don't worry about user roles at this point. We will add them towards the end when we have most of the logic out of the way. For now, we just want to focus on the simple stuff. So now we have our form and the variables. We can bind them to these input fields we created. So for the name, we can use the vmodel and set this to form.name, and we need to repeat this for the other input fields. So we can just copy it and paste it for the email, just change the property to email, and same thing for password and password confirmation. And also, since we have a form now, we can bind the disabled attribute of this button to form.processing. So in Inertia form helper, we would have this property that would be false while the form is processing. So we don't have to apply the logic manually, and Inertia form helper will do everything for us. So now we need a submit function and a route to submit this information to. So let's start by creating the route. Let's go to web.php, and I can duplicate this get route, change the method to post. The URL is going to be the same, but the method that is going to handle it, we will call a store. And of course, we don't need the name since it will be inherited from the get route. Now let's go to our register controller, and we want to create our public function, a store, and we want to accept the request class. So it is already imported for us automatically. And for now, let's just die and dump that request. So this is simple Laravel stuff, and we are just breaking the operation to see what we get in the request object. Now let's go back to the register component. We want to create a function, and I'm going to call it submit. So I'm using arrow function here, and we want to submit the form, which we have up here, using a post request. So on the form, which is an instance of the use form, we have all the HTTP methods, so post, delete, get, or whatever. So we want to use the post method, and this is looking for the URL. But since we have the Ziggy package installed, we can use the route function again and say we want to submit this to the route register. We can also pass an options as the second argument to this form helper. So if we pass an object here, we have a bunch of properties we can apply. For example, what's going to happen when this form is canceled, or there is an error, or finish, or process, and so on. So what I want to use here is unfinish. All of these properties are looking for a callback function. So again, we can use an arrow function and say, when the form processing is finished or submitted, we can use form.reset to reset the whole form or a specific fields. If we don't pass anything, the whole form will be reset. But we probably want to keep name and email, so the users don't want to retype them. But we want to reset password and password confirmation. So now let's attach this submit function to our form. So let's say at submit, and we want to use the prevent modifier and just use our submit method. Let's see what happens when we press register. So I'm pressing register. We get our request object in a model because of course this is a view application. And if we take a look at request parameters, we have name, email, password, and all of them are set to null. Now, of course, if we add some information here, we will probably get an error for this because that's not an email. There we go. And we do this, and under request again, we have name, email, and password. Now you notice we got an error for the email, which was browser handled. And that is because, again, we set the type to email. If you don't want to see that, if you want to handle that by yourself, we can just completely ignore this. And I'm going to delete it. So basically, we are treating this email field as a text. Alright, so we are able to submit this information to our backend, which is the Laravel. The next step is to actually register the user. So first we need to validate, then create a user, and probably send an email for verification, but that will come in later because we don't really have the routes set up. So for now, let's just create a variable here. I'm going to call it credentials, and we will set this to request validate, which will take an array of all the fields under validation. So we need to validate our name field, and we can either use an array here or a string and separate them by pipe. So either way. So we want to say the name is required and the maximum value is 255. Then the next field is email. We want to say this one is required. Then pipe, it needs to be lowercase and it needs to be an email, of course. The maximum value is going to be 255, and I think that should do it. Next, we want to do the password. That is going to be again required and confirmed. And let's have a minimum character of 3. Of course, in the real application, you don't want this. You want at least 8 characters and you want them to have numbers and so on. But we want to keep our application simple. So after that, if the validations pass, we will create a user. So let's say user, and we will use the user model itself and the create method, which is looking for these fields. So we can just pass down that credentials and the password would be hashed automatically. Now, right here, we want to send verification email, but again, we can't do it now because the routes are not set up. When the user is created successfully, we want to use the auth facade to log in the user. So this login function is looking for a user, and we are already creating it up here. And make sure you are importing the auth from facade, because there are other classes that you can import, and that's not what we want. All right, so when we are done, we want to return a redirect, and we can just use the route. And for now, let's just go back to the home page. So later on, when we have a dashboard, we will redirect the user back to the dashboard. All right, so let's see. So if I reload the page and press register, you see nothing happens. And if we open our View DevTools and we have main, so let's open that one. And you notice we already have the errors here that says name, email, and password, but that is actually tied to register form. So on the form, we have an errors object that we can use and say if there is any error, show them on the screen. So let's do that. So let's go back to the register component, and right above the form, I want to have an error messages component here. So let's create that first. Inside the components folder, I'm going to create error messages.view, and let's add our script here, and then our template. And for now, let's just add a class margin bottom 4. And within that, we will have a p tag and some classes. So text is small and text red 500. What I'm planning to do here is to have the error messages in one section rather than under each input field. So we want to say something went wrong. And underneath of that p tag, we will have a UL or any element. So we will add a margin left 4. Then within that, we will have an LI, which would show the actual error. For now, I will just hard code the error and say class and add some classes, text SM, and again, text red 500. We can also set the list to disk and list inside. So these are, again, just Tailwind classes for a UL and LIs, and it will add a circle next to the text. So you notice we don't have anything dynamic at the moment, but let's import this in our register, see how it looks. So again, we are just copy pasting one of these imports, and we want to import error messages and use it down here like this. So if we go back to our website, this is what we have. And if we take a look at the dark mode, it is quite easy to see that there is an error. Now, of course, we want to fill this with that errors object. So we know our errors will be within an object. And we want to loop over that and show an LI for each message. So first, let's define our props, and we want to accept an errors object. So we want to set the type of this to object. This whole div should be conditional. So what we can do, we can say if the objects has any elements within it. And because the object at first will be an empty object, so it would not be null, it would be an empty object. If we just pass object like this, we will still see this message. In fact, I'm going to leave it like this just to show you what I mean. And we will come back to it in a moment. So on the LI itself, we want to use the v4 because that's the element we want to repeat. And we want to loop over that errors object. I'm going to create an error message itself and the index. And I'm going to use the index as the key. So we want to loop over the errors, and we can bind the key attribute to that I. And for the actual text, we will use that error message, which we will get from each element. Now let's go back to the register component because this is now looking for an errors prop. We can bind this using the colon to our form.errors. So let's see what we get. Going back to our website, you notice we don't have any errors, but we can still see that text. And of course, if I press register, then we will see the actual error messages. But we don't want to see this. And the reason we see this because the object is an empty object and it's not null. And in fact, I notice I'm using the object here. It should be errors. That is our prop. But that would not change anything because even if we pass down errors here, we would still see that text and the error messages will appear as well. But then again, because the object is an empty object, so this returns true. In order to check if an object has any values, we can use the objects.keys, which is looking for any object. So in this case, we want to pass down our errors and then check for the length. Now, if this returns true, then we will see all of this. Otherwise, we will not see anything. Now, going back to our website, you can see the text is gone. And if there is any error, then everything is visible. So this is our error messages template or component. So of course, this is just part of JavaScript. We are just checking the length of the keys in an object. And if that returns true, then we will render all of this. Otherwise, we don't. All right, so we can close this one. We are able to show the error messages. And of course, if there are other error messages, we pass something and press register, we get the proper message. One thing I want to add before registering is to go back to our register controller and add a sleep function right before validation. So I can say sleep, let's say 2 seconds. I just want to show you that spinner. And if we press register, you notice up there we have a bar and also the spinner, which is white. So if you want to change the color of that, you can go to app.js, and this progress option is where you can control it. If you don't want a spinner, set this to false or completely remove it because default is false. And if you want to change the color, you can pass any CSS color here. So that is our spinner. And you also notice when we press unregister, the button is disabled and we can't click on it anymore. All right, so let's actually register a user and see if this works. So I'm going to use this information here and some password. Press register. We wait 2 seconds. We go back to the home page. If we go back to our project and open database and then go to the users table, there we have it. We have a new user. So that means our registration form is working properly. All right, so I'm going to delete this sleep function. That was just to show you what's going on. And next, we want to focus on logging in.